Early May 2025 will go down in modern warfare history as the moment when one of the world's most technologically advanced armies, the United States, suffered losses that are not easy to explain. The Houthis, seemingly a local force with limited resources, managed to shoot down 7 American MQ-9 Reaper drones, strategic aircraft worth over $30 million each, equipped with high-precision sensors, laser guidance systems, and capable of controlling the battlefield from thousands of miles away. They didn't just lose hardware, they lost their aerial eyes and analytical brain in the sky. During the same period, the U.S. also lost 2 FA-18 Super Hornets from the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier. The official explanation was landing accidents, but a closer look reveals both incidents happened under peak operational strain amid intense combat missions and under both psychological and technical pressure. The Houthis may not have pressed the launch button, but their actions created an environment where even American aviation began to break down on its own. This is an indirect, yet very real victory.
Super Hornet is a capability to draw from more advanced technologies and then also the stuff that was designed for the Super Hornet backfitted.
The moment was not only a shock for the United States, but also a lesson. Starting in May, U.S. Command conducted a rapid analysis of the situation. Every mistake, tactical, logistical, technical, was dissected. What had looked like overconfidence and technical superiority back in April transformed in May into determination and a decisive shift to a strategy of maximum pressure. The U.S. was no longer content with deterrence. It began striking preemptively, accurately, on a large scale, and systematically. Between May 1st and 6th, over 150 coordinated strikes were carried out from both air and sea. These weren't symbolic volleys. They were a meticulously calibrated, technically flawless combat operation where every missile and bomb had its own number, route, and target. In the skies, F-16 Fighting Falcons took off, fourth-generation multi-role fighters that have proven themselves in dozens of conflicts since 1978. Thanks to their delta-shaped wings, fly-by-wire control systems, exceptional maneuverability, and a combat radius of about 340 miles, the F-16s were ideal for fast, precise raids on enemy air defenses and infrastructure. During this operation, they carried JDAMs, GPS-guided bombs with a range of up to 17 miles and an accuracy of less than 10 feet, as well as AGM-88 HARMs, missiles designed to suppress enemy radar systems. Their mobility and ability to release ordnance from medium altitudes enabled quick strikes followed by immediate withdrawal into cover zones, reducing the risk of losses.
Conceived of as a lightweight, low-cost fighter, primarily for air-to-air, but it evolved to possess air-to-air and air-to-ground, a true multi-role fighter.
The key player in the operation was the USS Harry S. Truman, CVN-75, a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier with a displacement of over 100,000 tons, powered by a nuclear propulsion system and crewed by more than 5,000 personnel. It functioned as a floating base. Its primary advantage was the ability to launch and recover dozens of aircraft simultaneously, thanks to its catapult launch system and 4 steam-powered catapults. During the mission, it ensured a constant aerial presence, creating an air bridge between carrier-based and strategic aviation. Taking off from its deck were FA-18 Super Hornets, 2-seat fighter bombers with a maximum combat load of up to 17,600 pounds, a combat radius of over 435 miles, and a top speed of Mach 1.8. These aircraft formed the backbone of the tactical air campaign, deploying AGM-154 JSOWs, executing precision strikes on mobile targets and escorting bombers. Equally crucial was the role of the B-2 Spirit, a strategic stealth bomber with a range of up to 6,800 miles and the capability for mid-air refueling. Its radar-evading flying wing design and wave-absorbing coating allowed it to penetrate deep into the most heavily defended Houthi airspace undetected. Its primary role was the elimination of high-value targets, underground command centers, missile depots, and hardened shelters. It deployed GBU-57 MOPs, bunker-busting bombs weighing over 30,000 pounds, capable of penetrating multi-layered reinforced concrete. The use of GBU-39 SDBs enabled simultaneous engagement of multiple smaller targets with pinpoint accuracy within 3 feet.
The B-2 is a stealth aircraft. It's designed to basically kicked down the door to open up that entryway for other aircraft.
The MQ-9 Reaper strategic drones with a wingspan of over 66 feet and flight endurance of up to 27 hours served not only as the eyes, but also the hands of the operation. Equipped with high-precision sensors, thermal imagers, and capable of carrying AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, the Reapers conducted reconnaissance, target tracking, and destruction. They often operated in tandem with EA-18G Growlers, electronic warfare aircraft based on the Super Hornet platform, which jammed all available enemy frequencies, disrupted targeting systems, and even intercepted Houthi drone control links. Their deployment reduced risks for manned aircraft and enabled the suppression of air defenses before they could fire. RQ-4 Global Hawk drones provided continuous situational awareness, flying at altitudes over 60,000 feet with a range of up to 13,700 miles. They relayed real-time topographical data, heat signatures, and convoy movements. Their presence allowed commanders to monitor enemy deployments live and rapidly redirect assets. From the sea, Arleigh Burke-class destroyers provided support with Tomahawk cruise missiles, striking targets up to 1,000 miles away with an accuracy of less than 16 feet. These missiles served as a critical tool for pressuring command centers that couldn't be hit from the air due to weather or technical constraints. As a result, over 70 targets were destroyed. Not just isolated points, but core elements of the Houthis' combat architecture. Among the targets eliminated were 12 Shahed 136 kamikaze drone launchers, 8 Iranian-made air defense systems, including Ra'ad and Sayyad-2, more than 20 ammunition and fuel depots, and at least 5 command centers, including communication hubs, along with key transportation junctions in northern Sada and near the coastline. These strikes paralyzed the Houthis' ability to respond in real time. Air defense systems were taken out in the first waves, giving strategic bombers and drones full operational freedom. The destruction of command centers crippled coordination, and the attacks on logistics infrastructure halted the flow of fuel and ammunition. The strikes weren't just against positions, they targeted the nervous system of their entire military structure. The impact on the Houthis was devastating. The rate of attacks on Red Sea shipping dropped by 90%. Electronic warfare activity fell to a minimum, and most importantly, their confidence in mounting a response vanished. On May 6, when the skies above them were not just owned but actively monitored in real time by the U.S., they agreed to enter negotiations. Not because of political will, but because their enemy had become invisible, untouchable, and technically flawless. What had been considered a mixed risk zone just a week earlier was now a theater of absolute American dominance. But this success wasn't handed to them, it was a response to a strategic failure. The underestimation of the adversary, which had cost the U.S. several MQ-9 Reapers and fighter jet crews. After the early May losses, U.S. forces shifted into full-spectrum combat integration. The USS Harry S. Truman, carrying 90 combat aircraft, became the primary airborne tactical support platform. F-16s and FA-18s operated in a fire fan pattern. B-2 Spirits acted like precision surgeons, eliminating hardened targets, while MQ-9 Reapers and RQ-4 Global Hawks provided round-the-clock surveillance and targeting. Over it all flew EA-18G Growlers, jamming remaining communications and creating a radio silence effect across the battlefield. The result wasn't just pressure, it was an information technical shock for the adversary. And it was this shock that forced the Houthis to agree to a peace agreement brokered with the involvement of Oman. The document outlines the cessation of attacks on vessels in the region, access for international observers, and the establishment of an aerial buffer zone, which is currently controlled by a multinational coalition led by the U.S. Navy.